Okay, welcome back, Information Technology 9. Today we're going to work on the second step of our slider puzzle creation for our programming unit. And today we're going to work on the first bit of Visual Basic. What I want you to do first is to create your Visual Basic project file. So let's launch the program. And I'm going to launch Visual Basic there. And what I'd like you to do is to create a new project file. Now remember, you can click on this new project shortcut here. We're going to name the project SliderPuzzle, and make sure it's Windows Form Application is selected, which it should be by default. And then we select OK. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to resize our form. Now, if you remember correctly, yesterday we made all of our picture boxes, and I'll bring this down here for a second. And we took a single image, a simple image, and we broke it up into 9 smaller images. What we're going to do, and remember what we did yesterday, these were 200 pixels by 200 pixels, so 200 across the top by 200 down, which is the perfect size for this game. So what we want to do, we want to make sure our game form can handle the size of that particular window. So click on your form object, just a single click will do, and then go down here to the size property. You want to set your size up to about 650 pixels wide by about 700 pixels tall. 650 pixels wide gives us a little bit of extra room. Obviously, if each of those image boxes is 200 pixels wide, 650 will give us 50 pixels to spare, so we can split that up left and right. And then 700, we've got a little bit extra on the top to add in some different menu items and scoreboards and that sort of stuff. Okay, so with our form selected as well, while we're here, let's go down to the text property for our form, and let's call it SliderPuzzle 1.0. So this is version 1 of our slider puzzle. And what the heck, let's go up here and change our form name as well. I'm going to call my form Slider Main. Now this particular project is only going to have one form, so but nonetheless it makes it look prettier. Alright, we're ready to go. First thing I want you to do is to grab a picture box. So scroll through your toolbox on the left hand side until you find the one called a picture box, and drag a picture box onto the screen. We're going to resize that picture box by going to its property, the size property here. We're going to resize it to 200 by 200. And this is going to work out perfect for us. What we're going to do is we're just going to simply copy and paste that, and we need 9 of these altogether, remember? 1 for each of those boxes that we created. Visual Basic will stick the picture box in place, so it helps you line things up. There's going to be a bit of an issue for us because we actually don't want these gaps that are going to appear in between the picture boxes, which we can fix later. Alright, so let's select all of them at once. I've gone too far off the bottom of the form, so I'm just going to select them all and use the arrow keys to nudge them up until I got a fairly decent balance between the gap here, 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 and up top. Now we don't, like I said, we don't want these gaps in between our picture boxes. That's bad. So what I want to do is I'm going to grab this guy here, just click on it once, and we're going to nudge it over with the right arrow key until it overlaps with its partner next to it. See, now there's no seam in between the two. Well, there's a seam, but there's no gap in between the two. And we do the same with all of my other picture boxes as well. There we go. Now it looks like I got a nice even fit all the way around. Alright, we're also going to want to just click on all of them here. To select them like this, you simply hit the control button and then click on them individually. Now I've got them all selected. What we do want is when we load our images, if we left it just like this, there'd be no seam there. It wouldn't look like a tile. It would just look like our original image box. So what we need to do is we need to actually give it a bit of a border. So I'm going to go over here to the border style, pull that guy down, and I'm going to set mine to fixed single. You could use the 3D one if you like. This just gives me a single line all the way around, and I think that's going to look pretty decent. Alright, the other thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to actually rename these guys. Now, normally I would tell you to name your picture boxes starting with a PBX and then give it a name. We're going to do a little bit different this time. We're going to call each of these a tile. We're going to give them the name tile, tile 1, tile 2, tile 3, and so on, because they're going to represent the tiles on our game, on our slider game. So click on the first tile box, or picture box I should say, and we're going to call this guy tile 1, and then go ahead and rename the rest of them as well. We're going to work our way across the top. That's going to be tile 2, and then we've got tile 3, and so on. So rename each of your picture boxes to tiles 1 through tile 9, please. Here's our 4. Alright, now I've got all my picture boxes renamed. I'm just going to actually click on them one at a time to make sure I haven't typed anything incorrectly. Tile 2, 1, 2, 3, tile 4, this should be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect, our names are great. Alright, we're going to do more on our format later, but for now what we've got our 9 tiles set up and good to go. There is one other property we want to change. We're going to actually use a property called the tag property to manage whether the tile has an image box or which image is in the box. So click on your first tile box and then scroll all the way down until you find a property called tag. And we're just going to simply use a 1 for picture box 1, and a 2 for picture box 2, and a 3 for 3, and so on all the way down. What we're going to do is we're going to use this to manage whether there's an image in there or not. This is 5, and 6, and 7, there's 8, and there is 9. Alright, so picture box 1 has a tag value of 1, picture box 2 has a tag value of 2, picture box 3 has a tag value of 3, and so on all the way down to picture box 9, which has a tag value of 9. Okay, that is it for today's tutorial. Tomorrow we're going to start working on actually sliding the images and moving the images around, and we'll work on our gray tile, our empty tile.